The First Academy out of Orlando here on Perfect Game TV. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, and you. Thanks for being with us. Our third broadcasted game of the day. It's a semifinal game. Back in Hoover, Alabama, Alan Kunkel is the head coach, and he is a friend of Perfect Game. As we said, a good man. Austin Pierzynski right there in the middle of it. UAB commit, the 2025 grad, and the catcher, Rodriguez, Martinez, Arafat, Machado, Karonka, and Bastion, all the way down to the end. Again, Alan Kunkel, the head coach of the First Academy, the school out of Orlando, Florida. Their foe on the mound, his name is Arnold Wu. He is from Bellevue, Washington. He, of course, attends IMG, and he is a Pepperdine commit, the number 54 overall player in Washington. Not a highly ranked player, but certainly highly thought of to earn a scholarship to go pitch at Pepperdine. Excited to see what I'm guessing will be a very unique display of pitches.
Also got to be a very good student to go to Pepperdine. Excellent school. Looks like he's straight over the top with that delivery. Going to be interesting to see what kind of breaking ball he features from up there. I got to believe it may be that 12-6 curveball, but we'll get a chance to look at what his arsenal looks like.
All right, let's do this thing on the other side. First Academy, Lake Fields. Remo Indomenico. Yeah, there are a handful of committed athletes and some talented ones on this team at the First Academy. Miami-Dade College, the commitment there. Stetson, Jacksonville, Oklahoma State. Remo on deck is an Oklahoma State commit, so away we go. Challenge him with the fastball right away. Easing over. One of the best defenders in all of high school baseball out there in center field, Dean Moss. He made an unforgettable play at Chase Field at the All-American Classic.
He certainly did, and played a very shallow center field here as well. Think about how shallow he is out there, challenging them to try to hit it over his head, and obviously very confident in his ability to go back on the ball in center field. We certainly saw that at Chase Field.
Remo takes a breaking ball. You were talking about that very pitch right there. That's strike one.
Yeah, when you have that straight over the top delivery, that is the 12-6 curveball that delivery most likely features.
There it is again. Remo Indomenico, an Oklahoma State Josh Holliday commit. Number 7 overall outfielder in the state of Florida. Pretty good command in that location.
But a fastball sometimes straight over the top like that can be very straight. And so it doesn't mean you can't pitch with it. You just have to be very well located. And then you've got to be able to throw your curveball off of that location as well.
So far, 88 miles an hour on the high side. Big change in velocity on the curveball. Upper 60s, lower 70s. Overthrew that last one a little bit too hard. Arnold Wu, the right-hander, Pepperdine commit. Didn't mean to check the swing and rolls it to the right side. Underhanded flip in time to get him. And Indomenico, the Oklahoma State commit. A check swing ground out.
Good hustle down the line. You know, sort of an excuse me swing right there. But look at him get down the line there, doing all he can. And look, I like it. You know what? He wasn't happy with himself on it, but he took that energy and hustled down the line with some anger and frustration, but made it a tough play.
Here's Austin Pierzynski. Austin, first pitch swinging. It's a high fly ball to right field. A strike-throwing machine so far for Arnold Wu, and the son of A.J. Pierzynski. Will see him again as he goes back to work. So far, so good for both of these teams. Scoreless 2-1. More high school coverage than you can imagine as tomorrow night Danny Wetzelman and Steve Phillips will think they're showing the road out to Southern California for the semifinals of the SoCal Showdown. La Mirada, Corona Summit, Norco High School, and of course with that Corona High School team, you have 4 potential day 1 draft picks, so it's really going to be a lot of fun. You'll want to make sure you don't miss that one tomorrow evening. We're looking at a pretty talented bunch with IMG here. But it's funny, Steve, because watching Wu, and he's just getting started to be fair, but a Pepperdine commit and a guy that's not ranked as high as some of his mates, but there's a lot of polish to this pitcher.
There is, yeah. No, he knows what he's doing, and look, 88-mile-per-hour fastball, over-the-top breaking ball, a feel for what he's doing on the mound, and it's really hard to handle an 88-mile-per-hour fastball and a 68-mile-per-hour curveball, and trying to stay on both of those velocities, very difficult on a hitter.
Shows him the curveball to start things off. Roy Rodriguez is the hitter. Rodriguez, a 2025, committed to go play at St. Leo. Scored a couple of runs in this event in 2 games, has a hit as well. Big swing, fouling that one off. We saw him play at the Jupiter event, the World Wood Bat Association World Championship. And he went there with the Atlanta Braves scout team. Had a pair of hits in 3 games there as well. Breaking ball right in on the hands. Tied himself up that time. Underhanded flip for the out.
You know, if I'm the First Academy lineup, I would take that curveball until I have 2 strikes. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything with it, really, because it's such a big breaking pitch, and the velocity change is so difficult. You're going to have a much better chance of doing something with that straight fastball, and I would be inclined to not swing at it, just take it. And if I'm Wu, I'm going to throw get-me-over curveballs for the first pitch to every hitter. Let me get a strike working ahead with that curveball.
A little wrinkle in that one. It's almost as if that was a cutter or a slider. That's smaller than the curveball, right, Steve?
Yes. Yeah, it was, right? That in-between pitch between the fastball and the curveball. I like it. Nice sequence.
There's a slower breaking ball way out front. That just scrambles the brain of the hitter for me. If you see something more firm, yet it still bends.
Yeah, I do like. He's got the 3 different levels between the fastball, the slider, the curveball. 3 different velocities, which is very difficult for the hitters to monitor. There's that big breaker. Whew, where was that one? It's one of those pitches that the hitter gives up on. And honestly, I think it's a pitch that the umpire might give up on sometimes, because I think that looked like a strike.
Dylan Moss held it there.
I can understand giving up on that. Mason Weathers behind the plate, the umpire.
A protective swing, it would have been a called strike, and that is strike 3. Eric Martinez goes down. The Dyersburg State Community College commit.
That is just a wicked curveball. That is a very, very good pitch. You see that he sees it, and he sort of double clutches at the velocity, and then he thinks, okay, wait, now swing.
His next foe, Tyler Arafat. This is a 2026. It's a tall human being. First baseman, 6'6", still a junior in high school. As that one's outside to Tyler. Makes his home in Windermere, Florida. He's done good things for his height. He can run right around a 7 flat, 60. Throws 90 when he gets up on the mound. There's a bright future and still another year plus of high school baseball for Tyler. He's got a good coach in Alan Kunkel. Tied him up that time. That's what happens when you get caught looking for the breaking ball. Boy, the polish for Arnold Wu, Pepperdine. You're getting a really, really good one. Ready to go to work right away for the Waves on the banks of the Pacific. Perfect Games High School Showdown. And when you look at those that have made it to the major leagues coming out of IMG, there are some familiar names. Blaze Alexander with the Diamondbacks last year at shortstop. Logan Allen, that big arm to the big leagues. Reese Hines, who exploded onto the scene last year with the Reds. Curious where he fits in going forward. James Wood, you and I were talking about him. You know, built like a tight end in the NFL, but plays outfield like a center fielder for Washington. He went just 1 year to IMG after being a basketball star in Maryland.
Right. He had a chance to go D1 basketball at a number of places. And, you know, they were quite athletic. And Reese Hines, I think there's a spot for him. He can really swing the bat in Cincinnati. So there's some real opportunities there. And so, yeah, IMG's got some really outstanding baseball prospects and impact players in Major League Baseball right now.
And some along the way in the minor leagues as well. This is Luis Machado. He's a Bethune-Cookman commit. 2025, 18 years old. Switch hitter by trade. Seen him at more than 40 perfect game events. He hopped on the mound against Loganville High and was really good when they needed him in a win earlier today. He went an inning and a third and struck everyone out. Coming out of the pen, 4 strikeouts, no hits, nothing. Struck everyone out. Also 1 for 5 as a hitter with a walk. Two and 1 the count. Young Arnold Wu has faced the minimum. The Pepperdine commit sat for a while this time. Longer inning on the bench. 2-2. Arnold, fastball, strike 3.
Yeah, Arnold Wu really locates his pitches well. I mean, it's not just about control, about throwing strikes instead of balls, but it's about command. It's location within the strike zone where he wants it. And you see him where the glove is being set up at the plate and where Dylan Moss is lining it up. He is throwing it to the glove, which is the outstanding command within the zone.
Bounces that one in there. Cannon Karanka, the shortstop. Good looking fastball. The story of Wu is an interesting one because the first time he was ever seen by anyone with perfect game was June of 2024. Just last year. At an event in Washington. A small event, a 16U event. That one's fouled off. I'm going to use my interwebs here, Steve, and see if I can get some answers. This is quite a story, Arnold Wu.
It's the best kept secret. He is really. I mean, the fastball velocity at 88, and that's going to grow as he gets a little more mature and fills out a bit. But he can really command the ball well, and his breaking stuff is very good.
Yeah, you were saying that's outside on the corner, though. That's strike 3. Mason Weathers, the home plate umpire.
Yeah, that's where they're saying, woohoo.
I heard the woos. So at his first ever PG event, it was the 16U Washington State Open Tournament. As Keenan Bastion hits and takes strike 1. He pitched for a team called the Redmond Dudes. He was the MVP. He threw just 5 innings and struck out 7, giving up 1 run or 1 hit, no runs. 0-2 the count, and he threw 82 miles an hour last June of 2024.
He's a dude.
He is a dude. The 1-1. Breaking ball. Just off the plate outside.
Bastian got a break on the check swing. I thought if he had hit it, it would have gone out of the park. And he got a ball call on the check swing.
Breaking ball, fly ball. With good communication, you could hear Sean Gamble call off Nick Barron clearly.
Very good.
He's faced the minimum. So this young man from Taiwan, I believe, because he traveled there in the offseason during break and did some work in Taiwan. Pitching for IMG, looks incredibly strong on the mound. Arnold Wu. Back in Hoover, Alabama. And I got paid to call those games. Imagine that. It's my job. What an honor. And tomorrow night, Danny and Steve will do the same. It's the semifinal Summit's a great program. The number one team in the nation is Corona. They'll deal with them. Norco jumps into the mix. We didn't see them last weekend. We did see La Mirada. That was the big home run, the grand slam that you saw. It's not boring. It's very energetic. That's a gorgeous yard at La Mirada. A brand new stadium. State-of-the-art facility and a wonderful place to call a ball game. So excited for Steve and Danny to bring that one to you. So it's been the minimum for Arnold Wu, the right-hander from Taipei in Taiwan, who, as we talked about his rise, look, he's probably been playing baseball for a long, long time, but his rise here in the States, if you will, or at least onto notoriety and earning a scholarship, it's been pretty swift. It's been like a year and a half, and here he is. And the minimum here, what are we looking at? 3 strikeouts, good command of everything, and so the second time through could be a fun test for him.
Absolutely. So now they've gotten a look at it, but I tell you, his sequencing of pitches has been very good. We've seen an 88-mile-per-hour fastball that he can locate. We've seen a 68-mile-per-hour over-the-top 12-6 curveball, and then he's worked in a little cutter that's probably around 80 miles per hour that keeps hitters off balance and that has that late little movement that has locked guys up or moves the ball just off the sweet spot of the bat that gets weak contact where they popped it up a bit. So he's got an assortment of pitches that has really kept hitters off balance, and he's been very well located and worked a nice sequence of pitches as well. So he's got everything working for him tonight. And even when he's had long times on the bench because the offense has been so good, he has not missed a beat at all with any of his locations. So it's been a well-executed first time through the lineup.
So Arnold Wu, here comes a second time through with Steve's insights. He deals with Blake Fields, and don't waste anything. Just pour it right down the middle. When you're up 6-0, that's not a bad game plan, 0-1. Fields fly to center field back in the first inning. Swing and a miss. There's that little spinning cut fastball that Steve was telling you about. Fields attended Perfect Games National Showcase. Fun to see that athlete work last year. Do 93 from the outfield. He's a commit to go to Miami-Dade College, a really historic junior college program. Good take.
But now he can throw that high fastball right in the same place. When he throws that curveball, it's almost like the ball's going up out of his hand. He can throw that high fastball now at the top of the zone, and it'll look just like the curveball did coming out of his hand.
And he takes it. So Blake Fields went to that event in Jupiter, World Wood Bat Association World Championship. Only managed to have the schedule for 3 games. He had 3 2-hit games in Jupiter with 8 RBIs in 3 games. We're close, overthrew that one. There is your first base runner, second time through the order.
And now he'll have to pitch out of the stretch for the first time in the game. See how he can manage his mechanics doing that, where he's not had to do it since he probably threw his bullpen warming up before the game, and so it's been quite a while since he's had to do that.
Primo Indo Domenico. Primo Indo Domenico. Say that 5 times fast. Goes down, drops the bat head on that one. It's a high fly ball hugging the line. That's in there for a base hit. Primo will shuffle step, think about going to second. Then he does with the tag. They got him there. And they'll make sure the runner stops. That's a break there. That's the first base runner followed by the first hit, albeit a bloop hit to right.
Yeah, in Remo, in Domenico, like he hit it down the line, and it was a good job on the deke in right field right there. But then in Domenico paused going around first base, not really sure whether he was going to go for 2 or not. And instead of thinking automatically out of box, I'm going to go for 2, and then stopping if he thought he needed to stop. But he was indecisive, thinking 1, and then tried to decide 2 and ran into an out.
Wrecking ball, strike 1 to Austin. Pierzynski fly to right field, back in the first inning. First Academy, a private school established in '87 in Orlando, Florida. About 1,300 students from pre all the way to 12. High pop-up. Should be deep enough to plate the run. He'll come on around it, though, just in case. Beats that baseball home. That's an RBI for Austin. And the first run on the board.
Well, Josh Campbell got around this one actually better than I thought. Initially, I thought he was not going to get there, but he got around it pretty well, but just did not able to get the arm strength behind it to make the throw to the plate and able to score the run as Blake Field's able to come around and score and put the first run on the board for First Academy.
Curveball, strike 1 to Roy Rodriguez. Strike 2, same pitch, back to back.
Now he's got the feel for the curveball back again. He didn't have it earlier, right, when he walked Blake Fields, and he just couldn't get the curveball in there. He threw 2 of those off the plate and lost him in that first at bat. And now he's got the feel back for the pitch.
Tried to throw even a better one, and that's what happens when that occurs.
Kind of.
IMG Academy, such a unique history for this school. Initially opened as the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy in the 70s.
I remember that. Jennifer Capriati.
Pokes the breaking ball to right, up and over the head of the second baseman Gamble. Nice little spoiler base hit on a check swing for Roy Rodriguez, his first hit.
Sort of a tennis theme, a little Chris Evert two-handed backhand into right field.
And tennis. It was purchased by IMG Tennis, then golf was added, then soccer, then baseball in 1994. And that's when baseball became part of the story. And it really grew. Football's been added, lacrosse, track and field, and hey, tip of the cap, they're doing an amazing job in softball. They have added softball, and it's getting ready to roll out for its first full season. They have camps going now. Hammer breaking ball 0-2.
Well, one of my former players, Roger Cedeno, on the coaching staff for the IMG baseball team here. Dave Turgeon, the head coach. Steve Fry and Roger Cedeno are the assistant coaches on the team.
That's a good baseball name you just mentioned, Steve Phillips. Roger Cedeno.
Yeah, Roger stole 60-some bases one year for us. We had Ricky Henderson, and Ricky took him under his wing, and Roger had nearly a 400 on-base percentage one year and stole 60-some bases.
Bouncing ball out toward third. Boy, that's played nicely on an in-between hop. Talk about making it look easy.
That is some kind of play right there. Outstanding defensive play by Troy Carpenter right there. Well done.
Big bats show up. Finally get something going. Rodriguez with a single. Remo with the single. A walk and a run scored as well. And a sacrifice fly off the bat of Austin Pierzynski. Back in Hoover, Alabama. Phillips and Sutton, glad to have you with us as we welcome you back to the Hoover Met, the gorgeous complex here, just outside of Birmingham, Alabama, just south of Birmingham. Arnold Wu had his first traffic in his second time through the order. Ended up allowing a single run. It certainly wasn't a big inning by any stretch, so he goes back to work. And the right-hander who will, unless something changes, take his talents to go pitch in a gorgeous spot at Pepperdine.
It certainly is a beautiful campus, right? They win awards every year for most beautiful campus. And it's such a great school as well. Not a bad landing spot.
Not at all. There's two that come to mind in that part of the world. That's one of them. That's Division I. And then at the Division III level, down by San Diego, there's a school by the name of Point Loma. And it's right there near the city of Point Loma. And its ballpark, much like Pepperdine's, right over the wall is the Pacific Ocean. And so two gorgeous spots, depending on where you're playing, what level you're playing. 0-1 the count. Good fastball to tie. Ties at 2026, 17 years old. We talked about it earlier. A tall, rangy athlete. Playing first base. Kind of like that Jason Worth height. He's 6'6".
Yeah. Put a big bushy beard on him, and I think you got a nice comp right there.
He was 2 for 2 in the win over Loganville, leading to this game. Breaking ball, fly ball. Into the gap in right center field, the sure-handed Dean Moss. Holding's high school gold glove winner. First out in the inning.
That curveball getting him again, and just really hard to center that breaking ball. And, they can't angle, they can't get the right angle on it to be able to drive it. And so they just get it off center, and they can lift it, but they just can't drive it.
Zips a fastball right under the hand. Strike one to Luis Machado. Machado, another one who hops up on the mound, has a big arm as a pitcher, was up to 88 at the Jupiter event last fall. 1 ball, 1 strike the count.
Now that Jupiter event, right, was delayed for a little bit because of the storms that had come through, as I recall, right?
You're correct. It got pushed back 1 week. Amazing, the folks at Perfect Game, the community, what they were able to put together. We did the first couple of games and shared it, ended up doing all the live broadcasts remote and sent a documentary team there who did a great job. It's the first one I haven't, just based on the schedule, been able to attend in a decade. Glad they pulled it together for these athletes, though. High sky. Into the night it goes. Eisenfelder. More dependability in that outfield.
It really is amazing here down in the community in Florida how many are still affected. Talking to the Tampa Bay Rays, we're in their camp, and obviously their stadium, the Trop, unable to be used as for the Rays season this year. They're going to be playing at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. But many of the Rays employees still can't even be in their homes right now They're still in secondary housing, and it's just the number of people still. It's not really in the forefront of anybody's minds right now, but for people here, it really is. And I think still in our thoughts and prayers for all the people still affected by that.
Evan Karanka gives that one a ride. Again, the sure-handed outfielders get it done. 1, 2, 3. Boy, they can run it down. Steven Darren and you and him. Arnold Wu has been fun to watch. Showed on his social media some of the bullpens that he had thrown over the holidays, doing some work back in his native Taiwan. Found his way to IMG, and it's been an uptick in development, certainly, and watching who he is as a player. Arnold Wu. His dad is Paul. And by the way, I need to share with you, Steve Phillips, that his dad, Paul Wu, is a graduate of Big Blue.
Oh, go Blue. I love it. I love it. How is he getting a Pepperdine then? The Wolverines need to intercede right here. We did with our new quarterback from Brighton, Michigan, who was going to go to LSU, and we interceded and brought him back to the Maize and Blue. So let's go. Some Wolverine alumni. Let's see what we can do here. And get Arnold to the Maize and Blue.
Tracy Smith, he's out there watching, friend of the show, hit hard. And into center field, it's a base hit. It's a pretty swing. Keenan Bastion, who made that fine play in left field. He had flied deep to right first time up. Number 9-hole hitter with a single.
You're ready for that fastball and got it. And on a high fastball, right? Remember, you've got to get your hands above the ball to hit that high fastball to get on top of it.
Back to the top of the order in the gifted Blake Fields. We were going through that stop at Jupiter that Blake Fields had. That's kind of crazy to have 3 2-hit games and go 6 for 8 at an event where getting 2 hits is a good trip. But talk about doing something for your confidence.
No kidding. Absolutely. You start playing against the elite talent, you come up with some big games there and put up those big numbers, and it starts to make you recognize you belong.
It's that one out toward third, and it slips right on by. Carpenter left his feet, couldn't make the play. All right now.
It's funny, it sounded like Blake Fields sort of said, like he was mad at himself, but he was able to sneak that one by at third base right there. Troy Carpenter get it into left field, and now, a bit of a jam right here for Arnold Wu. And see what he can do now to navigate this as he gets back up top of the lineup here, and Remo Indonesia to see what he might be able to do to start a rally.
Remo singled. He also grounded out. We talked about earlier, and Domenico headed to Oklahoma State.
Now, that pitch was called a ball right there. I think it was a strike, but I think Dylan Moss stood up to sort of fake the throw to first. I think he blocked a home plate umpire, Mason Weathers, from being able to see the pitch to call it a strike.
Yeah, good call. Snap throw. That one he stayed down on long enough. Got the call of a strike. Breaking ball is high. 2-2 the count. Nice little test here for the right-hander. So, got some base runners in the fourth. There was a run that scored. Working back out of the stretch. Man, he's had 4 clean innings, so that's impressive. It's a talented lineup he's dealing with. Trying to help his pitcher out with an out. He is just committed to the pickoff throw.
And I think that and I appreciate it, but it is 6-1, and anything he does to steal a strike away, and trying to get it out, but you don't get it, and you take a strike away from your pitcher, you're really, taking away from the potential of getting out of the inning just with your pitcher doing his work.
Pops that one up. Running out of room.
Love the aggressiveness, but the scoreboard. You got to play. You got to people say read the room. You got to read the scoreboard.
Three and two the count. Ball 4. All right, Steve Phillips, crazier things have happened here. Be sleeping on
They have
Academy,
happened, right? Over the last few days, they actually have happened. Not only can they have happened.
Let's see if this is all for the talented Arnold Wu. Run some numbers by you real quick. Wu, 5 innings, plus these batters. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. 69 total pitches. His strike percentage is about 65%. Steve, his average fastball's been 85, and he's topped out at 88.
Yeah, leaving him in.
You made a point earlier, I know you were talking about it, and it's so important here. This is where you must trade runners for outs.
Yeah.
Tempting to chase a strikeout. 1-0.
There was a game yesterday with the bases loaded, nobody out, and or I guess it was actually second and third, and a ground ball back to the pitcher. The runner broke, and the pitcher tried to throw it to first, home plate, and then the catcher caught it and threw to first and threw it away. Right, and all he had to do was get the out at first. Boy.
You understand the
Right
heart.
now.
The heart is, let me help my pitcher out, but boys.
What I want Dylan Moss to do is to say, come on, Arnold, come on, get it in the zone right here. Come on, right to the glove. Give me a strike right now. Like I want him coaching Arnold right now. I want him, urging him and motivating him. Get it right to the glove. Give me that strike.
2-0 the count. Arnold chatting himself up just a little bit now. Arnold Wu with a bases loaded walk. And he'll come right back out and take it. Let's see. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll make a change. Just faded, and when he did, he faded fast.
Yeah.
The Pepperdine commit. 5+ innings. Heads into the dugout. And the score 6-2.